I have a number 12 dry fly hook in the vise, and we're going to tie a foam beetle. This is a durable version of a fly that's very famous in Pennsylvania fly fishing called a crow beetle. This will just last a great deal longer than a typical crow beetle. I've already knocked down the barb of the hook, which I think is kind of important to help the fish. And what I'll do is I'll start the thread up near the eye of the hook, wrap back to the bend, trim off the excess, and then wrap back up to the eye of the hook. I've just laid a little thread base for a strip of foam. The foam is I've cut to about a little bigger than the gap of the hook. And we're going to lash this down to the top of the hook with just some spiral turns of thread. You can see we're making something that actually looks a little bit like a caterpillar, but then we'll bind the foam down a little bit more securely with more turns of thread and wind up back at the bend of the hook again. I'm going to take a saddle hackle or any other hackle you have that's about 1.5 to 2 times the gap of the hook. Strip off the base and tie it in dull side forward, and we'll palmer this forward to make legs on our beetle. I'm going to trim this top and bottom, so I want a fairly heavy, dense mass of legs. 4, 5, 6 turns, like so. Tie off, and then trim the hackle off the top of the fly. Bring the beetle back forward, bind down, need a few turns of thread, 8 or 10 turns of thread, and then snip the excess. That little bit there kind of looks like a head on a beetle. Then we're going to take a narrow strip of yellow foam or another color if you see it better. This is kind of our indicator or marker. Helps us see the little guy. And we just work up forward. And throw in a whip finish. Again, you're just finishing the thread, not building a head, so 4 or 5 turns are more than adequate. Now turn the fly over in the vise and trim the bottom of the hackle. Nice and flat, and that beetle will virtually always land upright with the yellow spot so you can see it. Again, this is a foam version of what essentially is a crow beetle with a little bit of hackle for legs, and very, very effective fly here in central Pennsylvania.